today at the 2010 Broadband Minority Empowerment Summit. Every time I say this, I'm still getting used to all those words. Rick Wade, you have a long title. Tell us your job. Give us the title. Come on, it's long.
Well, listen, yeah, I mean,
you want me to call you Rick? The people don't, everybody don't know.
Everybody doesn't know, but thankfully, I'm Rick Wade, Senior Advisor to the Secretary of Commerce, as well as Deputy Chief of Staff at the Department of Commerce, and one of President Obama's advisors on a myriad of issues.
Okay, so welcome to Two Questions. This is the name of the show I'm doing today, called Two Questions. And the first question is, on an individual basis, what are you doing to address this issue of this digital divide?
Well, first, President Obama has demonstrated his commitment to helping to close the digital divide through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, the stimulus plan, where we have now some $7 billion that the Department of Commerce and the Department of Agriculture are responsible for deploying broadband all across America. And there are three major components. One, we're trying to develop a broadband map of America, so that we'll know where the voids are, where we don't have broadband access, et cetera. The second piece is deployment of broadband infrastructure, building the pipes, the towers, the hardware. And then the other part of that is what we call broadband adoption. And we're administering right now some very significant grants that will allow agencies and cities and community groups to compete to be able to provide public computing centers where people in unserved and underserved communities can come in and access the internet.
That's some big work on an infrastructure building level, on a governmental level. What's the timeline on that?
Well, the first round of competition has already been completed, and we're announcing
competition meaning for
the broadband grants. So we're
right.
announcing the
So
grantees,
RFPs
the winners right now.
Out too.
RFPs have gone out for the first round.
Right.
Through the first part of February, we are announcing those winners. The second round of competition starts in January, this month, and that competition will continue through the early part of the summer, and we will announce the second round in September.
Let's assume for a second that there are people who are watching this that didn't know that there was a competition even happening, and we would assume that folks who are aware of it obviously are in the telecommunications game.
Sure.
And so for those that didn't understand that process, can you give a little bit more information on what that was like and how people were chosen, how they, even though we're past that, just so that people know how government works as well as it relates to this?
Sure. The agency that is administering this program is the National Telecommunications Information Agency, or NTIA. It is an agency of the Department of Commerce first. And I would encourage everyone also to go to the website broadbandusa.gov. That's broadbandusa.gov. This is where you can get all of the information on the proposals, what we call the NOFA, the request for proposals, that whole process, the timeline. We're having workshops all across the country, targeting minority communities, minority firms, cities and towns to come in and understand and have broadband 101. About the importance of broadband, how do you complete the application, how do you be successful, how about teaming and partnering with firms that traditionally have been successful in this space. So all of that information is on that website, and it's extremely important that we have the minority community, minority businesses, minority firms and organizations like ADE a part of this strategy as we look to implement, because at the end of the day, this is about serving unserved and underserved communities, many of which, as we've talked about in this conference, are minority communities.
Right. So you actually answered the second question in the body of your first answer, in that, or the second answer, in that on an individual basis, your recommendation for people would be to go onto the website.
Yes.
And what is it again?
Broadbandusa.gov.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
We call him Rick for short, ladies and gentlemen, but he's doing some big things.